Hold on for a hot second, folks. Give me a hot second. So much to go, so much to go over right now. Um, yeah, a few different things going on right now. Okay, so uh, okay. It's your boy Leo, and welcome back to the bird section. Oh, sorry it took me so long to get my shit together. You know what I'm saying? But had to make sure that I got all my settings right and everything like that. Yes, we know that. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. So where are we at with things right now, y'all? Where are we at with things? First and foremost, the Philadelphia Eagles have found we got our guy. It's Sean Mannion, the offensive coordinator from the Green Bay Packers. Now, here's the interesting thing. He was actually not the actual play caller in Green Bay. That was actually Matt LaFleur. So he called Matt LaFleur was actually the play caller, but Sean Mannion held the OC position, and so this is going to be more of a lateral move for him. You know, to come here to Philly. That being said, I do think that shout out to Little G Griffin. Yes, we keeping AJ Brown. Philly old head. What up, big dog? Little G Griffin is in the building. Yeah, Philly old head is in the building. Listen, y'all, while you here, please hit the like and subscribe button. That's my tip jar on top of, the super chats and all that stuff, which are great. But let's get into the weeds of everything. So yeah, Sean Mannion, OC over at Green Bay, who was not the play caller, the head coach which was Matt LaFleur, now becomes the OC here. Not sure exactly um, how much leeway he's going to be given. It all depends on how Howie and here's a couple of things. Like all right, he's gonna inherit Jeff Stoutland. How's he gonna work with that? I understand Jeff Stoutland might have taken a reduced role and not be the run game coordinator. And he'll just be concentrating on the O line. Then again, I don't know if they gave him carte blanche like they were talking about with other coaches. I don't see that happening because they were saying, you know, the next OC is going to be someone who's a more established, mature mind that would be able to, build the offense, run the offense in their own image as they see fit. Sean Mannion does not fit that description, in my opinion. So this might be another one of those types of situation where, Nick is going to have some influence on the way this offense runs. Given the youth of this guy, he's one of those young coaches, one of those up and coming young coaches that you're starting to see the trend as far as the other teams are concerned, hiring first time coaches to be either head coach or OCs, so or DC coordinators. You know what I'm saying? So, we're seeing those things happening here. Again, don't know um, exactly what they promised him or if they promised him anything at all. But what we do know is that Philadelphia does have its new OC now. The thing is that this guy used to be a quarterback at one time. He was actually playing in the league just a couple of years ago. So his newness to the his newness to the current state of affairs in the league in terms of how to play the quarterback position, he's only a couple of years removed, so he'll be able to definitely be able to identify with Jalen in terms of, having played the position before. Innovation and all that stuff. he's so young. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'll say this. I have the supreme confidence in Howie and him, but I'm not all that excited about it because at the same time, this is the same thing we did last year with Kevin Patullo, a guy who's never called plays, who's never really sat in the position wholly, and now we're giving him a shot. So this is one of those like, okay, I hope this, I don't know what he said, what I'm saying? I don't know, what he said or what he did, but he did enough and said enough that they offered him the position, so I'm gonna go with it. Again, not excited, but I'm not disappointed either. And on top of that, with all of the interviewing that they have done, with all of the intel that they have gathered on all these other coaches, you know what I'm saying, and this is the guy they landed on. Okay, I roll with it. Okay, let's go. I hope he gives us a couple of years. If this is the guy, I want to see Jalen in the same offense for the next 2 years. That'd be great. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. I will say, he did have Malik Willis out there looking good, even though Jordan Love, was doing all right, but then got hurt. So, it's like, okay, what's up, Cash? Your boy is in the building. Philly O'Hare said, I'd like to hire new, young, fresh blood. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Again, with all the background checks and interviews and second interviews that they did with folks and everything like that. And this is the guy they landed on, then he's got to be somebody. Who or what, I don't know, but he's got to be somebody. So if that's the case and this is the route we going, let's do it. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not. The one thing I'm glad is that they did take their time. I'm glad that it took this long. I'm glad that they did their due diligence. I'm glad they got to talk with a lot of other potential coordinators and so forth. I'm glad they did. I'm glad all of that happened. And I think we've got some really good intel on some up and coming coordinators who will eventually become head coaches. And so, having done that, I'm okay. Like I said, I'm okay with it. I'm just not overly super excited yet. Give me some time and learn some more about this guy. But to Philly old head point, he is young and up and coming. So okay, let's try it. Let's see what we got. A lot of other teams are doing the same thing. Billy Covington said the last time the Eagles did this with Green Bay, we got Andy Reid, and we know the history he gave us. Yep. Don't like it. Byron Left would have been better. Stadium Sports HQ. I said Byron Leftwich a couple of weeks ago. So, but it's okay. You know, um, yeah, the last time we did, we ended up getting Andy Reid from Green Bay. So you never know. Again, I'm willing to. Again, I have the supreme confidence in Howie in them. So if this is who they landed on, You know, I can see him bringing in some more people. Can't wait to see how he builds his staff. Of course, keeping Jeff Stoutland. But who else is he going to bring in, and how much of the current staff is he going to keep? All those things. So he's got to hit the ground running. Fortunately, we've got enough background and intel on a bunch of other coaches or potential coaches that we could, bring some of these guys in other roles that we've already interviewed for DC.